Welcome to the Wrestling Replay. It's Cato here with the AEW Dynamite and Rampage replay of the week. I promise I wouldn't start the video off with singing this week, so fine, you got it. This is the go home show for both episodes heading into that all out pay-per-view. Shout out to all the wrestling fans watching right now, wrestling family. What's going on? Let's go ahead and get into Dynamite with one of the best matches I've seen this week, and that's LAX versus FTR. Now, these two teams, it was like the perfect grudge match, right? You got a reason for these guys to go at it, right? You got a reason for these guys hating each other. And everything they did inside this matchup, it all made sense. Now, we know that Cash went out with that nasty arm injury. We all seen it. Glad that he was able to make a return. Hopefully, he's 100%. But I love during the matchup that FTR focused on Ortiz's arm, pretty much trying to get some payback for what happened to Cash. I thought that was really cool. I like that storytelling inside of the ring. I like the fact that they gave us a pay-per-view quality matchup to kick off Dynamite. They said, look, we're not going to make y'all wait. We're going to get right to it. And they gave us that. So I can appreciate the fact that they did that. It was a really hot match to open up the show. It really got the crowd engaged. It got everybody locked into what's going on and focusing on this matchup and Dynamite, right? Now, I do believe that the right team went over. LAX did manage to beat FTR, and I believe that the right team went over because if Cash is truly not 100%, right, and maybe he's not going to be pursuing wrestling as much anymore. So, with that being the case, yes, you got to put over LAX. We got to see the Young Bucks LAX, the Lucha Bros LAX, Jungle Express, the Private Party. We got to see all those tag teams mix it up again, right? So I believe the right tag team did go over in that sense. I'm not going to lie, man. CM Punk is that energy right now. He's that energy. I tell you, like, yo, a simple stare down shouldn't be that good, right? A simple stare down should not be that good. But he's the energy in wrestling right now. We're going to see the match between him and Darby Allin at All Out. And I'm going to be honest, I'm most, nervous for CM Punk. Not because of the long layoff. I've seen guys return from layoffs before. And they did just fine. But it's like, yo, you're coming from this layoff as being proclaimed the best in the world, right? You're coming from this layoff after you done, said everything you said about the competition. Now you're finally back to wrestle these type of guys that you want to wrestle. Now that you're back and you're going to be on a pay-per-view, your first matchup back, the crowd is going to be crazy. You didn't really have any warm-up matches in front of a crowd yet. So it's going to be interesting to see how you do. We know that the cardio's there. He's admitted that. But how physical will this matchup be? We know that Darby Allin is the type of guy who likes pain. He likes those, real gritty type matchups. And if it's going to be one of those, will CM Punk body hold up? Now, I'm going to tell you now, I wish he does great. I wish it holds up. I wish he's at least 85% of the CM Punk that he was when he first left professional wrestling. And now that he returned, if he can do that, I feel like that will be enough for CM Punk to look great and continue to keep doing what he's doing in AEW. So, I'm nervous for him, but at the same time, I'm hoping that he can go and do what he gotta do. We had a matchup between Orange Cassidy and Jack Evans. It was a good matchup. I'm not gonna deny that. It was a good match, I guess. It was fine. It was okay. I gave it like a 2 out of 5. It wasn't like nothing to wow you, but it was something entertaining to watch to pass the time. Jack Evans is very talented. Orange Cassidy is very talented inside the ring. So you know what you was gonna get. What I don't understand is, what are we doing? why are we moving in like backwards? Like like what's happening? Why did he already beat the leader and now he's going back to face like the little guys? That would be like you playing a video game, starting at the boss, and then work your way all the way back to stage 1. And after you beat stage 1, you go beat the boss again. Like, I already beat the boss. I already seen the end of the story. So what would I really care for? So I'm not invested in this storyline at all because I already got the final match that I wanted to see between the Orange Cassidy and the Matt Hardy. Now, honestly, it's plenty of ways that they could have made this feud and this story pretty good. You could have got Matt Hardy and his little crew versus the Best Friends, and you had Chris Gatliner in there. Excuse me, and they could go ahead and mix it up in a big 5v5. And then you could kind of have, Orange Cassidy work his way down a few of the guys in the single matchups, and then go ahead and face Matt Hardy one-on-one, maybe at All Out. That would have been a nice time to cap it all off. But that's not what we got. We got kind of like a reverse story, the same way they kind of did Jericho and his 5 labors. It's like, why am I fighting Warlord number 4? I should have been fighting him at like number 2 and Juventud at like number 1 and Nick Gage at number 4, because Nick Gage are going to have a death match, and I want him as most beat up as he possibly can be before he goes into that final labor being MJF. Now, granted, at the end of the labor, you got it all right. You got MJF winning. That was perfect because that led the segue for what's going to happen at All Out. So you got it right eventually, but it could have been a better story being told, right? Next up, we had Big Will Hobbs defeating Brian Cage. That match wasn't too good. I thought it could have been a lot better. And to be honest, man, Will Hobbs is somebody I could see being a world champion. Like, he has the look, he has the intensity. I think he should have been the one that carried the FTW belt. He got the win with Ricky Starks actually assisting with the belt. So, I don't know. I don't know what's next for Cage after this. I don't know if you still have some smoke for Team Taz, considering, look, it's 3-on-1 every single time that you go out there. So if you're not going to find help, if you're not going to find a partner or somebody to watch your back, you're going to continue to lose to these guys. So I would hate to see us in a situation where Brian Cage is just constantly chasing Team Taz around. He's too talented to be constantly chasing someone around. And that's my whole point of them needing another title, a middle to upper weight title, so guys like Brian Cage can have that to go chase. Excuse me. Guys like Will Hobbs can have that TV title to go chase. It would make sense. So hopefully that's what we get later on. Now, you know me, I don't really talk about segments, but after the match we had a situation with QT Marshall, The Factory, and Paul Wright, man. They kind of, came to a head. Paul Wright came, doing what he do, giving fists out, handing out choke slams, and eventually the Gun Club came down to kind of back him up. And we watched Billy Gunn smack Paul Wright in the hip with a steel chair, kind of making it kind of foreshadowing what may possibly happen at All Out. That hip cannot be 100% on Paul Wright. So maybe this match is going to go towards QT Marshall's side. Plus, he has the Factory to back them up as well. Now, with the Gun Club going heel, I initially said, hey, a young team like the Varsity Blondes need to go heel. It will work best for them in their career. Me personally, that's what I believe. But if we're going to have the Gun Club go heel, that might be exactly what's needed right now in the tag team of AEW. Because to me, I think tag team wrestling is what AEW is all about. I think that's the backbone of AEW. Yes, we have some great singles guys, but it cannot touch the tag team wrestling that takes place on AEW. You got the older veteran teams like the LAS, the FTRs, that's going to go and the Lucha Bros, the Young Bucks. They're going to carry the flagship, right? You got those in-betweeners like the Jungle Express. You got guys like the Best Friends, teams like that, right? Then you have your younger tag teams like the Martin Brothers. You got your Varsity Blondes. You got your Gun Clubs. You got your Private Party, and those are the future of the tag team wrestling. So right now, AEW has some of the best wrestling that's going on right now. Period. Some of the best tag team wrestling. Going on. Period. And I think that's where the focus should continue to be, because they're giving us some of the best matchups we can ask for. But after that, we got what I believe to be the third best matchup of the night. It was Tay Conti versus Penelope Ford. They continue the building for the women's battle royal casino whatever. They continue the building for the women's battle royal, right? It's funny because I was watching this match and I was thinking, yo, I can't wait for Anna Jay return. When she returned, it's going to be lit. It's going to be up because her and Tay Conti can go ahead and get back on the same page. They can watch each other's back. It's going to be what they need if any one of them want to take out Britt Baker. Lord behold, after Conti wins this matchup, who comes out to her rescue? Who comes down to make sure she's really, really good? Anna Jay. I said, look at this. Just in time for the casino battle royal. And hey, she's my pick to be the winner. In fact, we'll do that after the show. After we do Dynamite Rampage, we're going to go ahead and pick. I'm going to go through match with match, and I'm going to say who I think is going to win each matchup, and we're going to do it like that. And I'm going to make sure this video dropped before All Out, so, you know, you guys know it was really good. But that was a really good matchup between the two, man. Penelope Ford, she's really talented. Tay Conti, she's really good as well. Like, I could see either one of these women at some point being AEW's women's champion. Like, they're really, really good inside the ring. I like both of these women, and that was the third best matchup to me. Now, the number one. This might in between the number 1 and 2. It was the main event with Jungle Express and Lucha Bros versus the Elite, being Young Bucks and the Good Brothers. I say that may be number 1 because that FTR LAS. If you've been watching this for a while, you know I'm a sucker for storylines. I love when everything is done right and the story is told outside the ring, it's told inside of the ring. The finish makes sense. Everything is great and you get good wrestling in the mix. That can be done. They just showed you could do that. These guys in the main event did the exact same thing, but the ending to close out the show with the exact feel that you need before you go into a pay-per-view, and that was what I liked best. So maybe the main event was my number 1 match, LAS being the number 2, and Tay Conti being number 3. Dude, I'm gonna tell you what. If they're not going to push the Jungle Express to win the tag team titles, which I don't think they should, not right now, they have to capitalize on the momentum that they have with Jungle Boy. Don't Orange Cassidy him, where you gave Orange Cassidy all this rub, all this momentum. The fans was 110% behind him. You had him feuding with Chris Jericho. He was as over could be, and then it just went flat. Jungle Boy. You had him fight Kenny Omega. You had him win the Battle Royal. He's red hot right now. You have to capitalize on this momentum. I don't know if that's going against the TNT champion like Rusev, but this is the perfect example of like, yo, if we had another title, Rusev would probably be holding that belt. Somebody like Jungle Boy would be going after the TNT title. It would be making perfect sense. But it's so damn congested because you only have 2 titles and there's really nowhere for the talent to go after they get red hot. So they have to capitalize on Jungle Boy's potential right now, his momentum right now, and the fact that he is as over could be right now. Now, this was an amazing tag team wrestling. Great anticipation for the tag team matchup. It built great anticipation for the tag team matchup between Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks at All Out. Dang, I would have loved to see this 4-on-4 matchup happen and like a War Game style matchup. Maybe that style match that the Inner Circle had with the Pinnacle. That would have been amazing. These teams really showed out, man. That was a great ending. The match was over. You seen the whole Elite come out. So with the Elite getting the win, the Elite continued to beat down after the match. And I mean the whole Elite. Kenny Omega came down. Don came. Everybody was there, right? The Good Brothers put Luchasaurus, the biggest guy, Smart, through a table on the outside the ring. The cage dropped. You got Christian running down trying to make a save. He's getting demolished inside the ring. Anyone who wanted some smoke came down and they got some. We seen guys trying to run down and climb the cage. They was getting sprayed. They was getting smacked with the kendo sticks. So they couldn't really come in and really make the save for the Lucha Bros and Christian, or they couldn't help because they was getting destroyed themselves. So with this being said, I like it. It built great anticipation for all the matchups that the Elite is in going into the pay-per-view. Very, 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 very smart. Very smart. It scared me a little bit because that style ending reminded me of exactly what NWO would do. And I feel like the NWO was the rise and fall of WCW, to be honest. And I'm not going to say the Elite is the rise and fall of AEW, not by any chance, right? But I do believe that, long as they keep them at like maybe this many members of the crew, that it's fine. It's okay. But as long as it doesn't get too big or too overpopulated and you have too many wrestlers wanting to join the Elite, it won't get played out and it won't go down like NWO went down. So I like that. And I normally think, hey, we got a check and balancing system where we got Cody, Kenny, and the Bucks all helping running the show as executive vice presidents, I believe, something like that. But the problem is, 3 of those guys are in the Elite. 3 of those guys are champion. The one who's not in the Elite is not a champion. So, I don't think it'll be a situation like that, though, man. Now, let's go ahead and jump into AEW's All Out pay-per-view. Let's run down match for match, who we think is going to win, who we think is going to lose, and where do we see them going after this. I'm trying to find the pay-per-view card. I had it just now, but I got to find it again. All right. Here we go. So, now, we have the matchup with... Dun, 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 dun. This is not even an updated card, but whatever. I remember most of it. So, Jon Moxley and... Oh, I'm going to destroy this name. Shito Ho something. I don't know. From New Japan. But I think Jon Moxley is going to go over. I think Jon Moxley is going to win that matchup. It's just kind of what they... I feel like this matchup is kind of building for something else, right? I feel like Jon Moxley has been in limbo for so long that him in this matchup is only building for something else. Kind of like when he had that... he was the champion, right? It was building for him to go against Lance Archer and eventually use that title on AEW. So I think this is going to build for something else. We got Miro and Eddie Kingston. Sorry, Eddie. I think Miro is going to retain his championship because I think somebody like Jungle Boy is probably who should go and take that title off of somebody like Miro. We got Dr. Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander. Sorry, Chris. I love you a lot. And I think she is another woman that could possibly be a future champion, a women's champion in AEW. And I think Britt Baker right now is just on a roll. She's on fire. It's not the time to take the title off of her. So I think Britt Baker will continue to be champion. Paul Wright and QC Marshall, I think I kind of already foreshadowed that with that hip being attacked by Billy Gunn with the steel chair. I think QT Marshall will be the one to win this matchup. Plus, he has the factory on the outside of the ring. We got, man, I ain't even peeped this matchup right here. We got Orange Cassidy, the best friends, Chuck Taylor, Wheeler, and Jurassic Express going against Matt Hardy, Private Party, and TH2. Man, I think I called him H2O earlier, but TH2, right? You gotta go with the faces, right? It would only make sense that the faces go over, and it will build a little bit more anticipation for that Orange Cassidy Matt Hardy showdown when it happens again. It could build anticipation for the Jungle Express and a team like Private Party or TH2 to kind of start a little feud as well. So I'm gonna go with the faces on that side. The Women's Casino Battle Royale, I'm gonna go with Anna Jay. That's my pick, Anna Jay. I think Anna Jay is gonna win it. I think she's the one that's gonna come back and be the one to challenge Britt Baker for that title next. If she's going to stay face, I think she'll just win it outright. If they're going to turn her heel for whatever reason, I think she's going to screw Tay Conti in this matchup. All right. What else we got? Jericho, MJF. I got Chris Jericho. It's time for him to actually notch a win over MJF. It's time to shut MJF up. It's time to actually put the Pinnacle and Inner Circle to bed. It was a good long storyline, but it started to get dull towards the ending of it. I didn't like that too much, so I'm going to go with Chris Jericho. Time for Jericho to move on to announcing or whatever else he's going to do. CM Punk, Darby Allin. The right call is to put CM Punk over. I didn't come back. I didn't do this pay-per-view for nothing. Unless it's a situation where Sting actually physically interferes, and Darby like turns heel or something like that. CM Punk has to go over. That's just the right choice, man. Steel cage matchup with Lucha Bros, Young Bucks, tag team titles. I'm not sure. I think this could be a time where we see the Lucha Bros as the tag team champions. I think the Lucha Bros will go over. They will go over. I think the only way, with them having Pac essentially in their corner, hopefully somewhere in the back, maybe that will help keep anyone out of the way in this steel cage matchup. So I'm going to go with the Lucha Bros. Originally, I had Young Bucks because I liked another tag team to come and take those titles off of the Bucks. But you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going with the Lucha Bros. Kenny Omega, Christian Cage, easily Kenny Omega. I see other people being that AEW World Champion. I don't see AEW and Impact having dual heavyweight champions again. I think that was just to get more eyes on the Impact product, which it probably did. So I don't see Christian Cage winning this matchup. I don't know how it's going to end, but Kenny Omega next in line, you have to throw it to Jungle Boy, or you have to throw it to CM Punk, or, you know, hell, if Darby can get past CM Punk, you got to throw it to Darby Allin. There's so many more matchups that could happen with Kenny Omega that's going to be great. I think it's, not time for Christian Cage to, cash in just yet. So he will be losing that matchup in my mind. That about does it for everything. That's Rampage. That's Dynamite. That's All Out pay-per-view predictions. That's everything we think that's going to happen. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen. Honestly, I probably dropped this Sunday, so it won't be enough time for you to actually tell me who you think is going to win in All Out. But let me know who you guys think is going to, where these championships are going to go next. AEW World Champion, Kenny Omega. Who do you guys see next in line for him? Who do you guys see next in line for the tag team champions, whether it's the Young Bucks retaining or the Lucha Bros winning the tag team titles? Do you think they run it back? Or do you think the Lucha Bros go ahead and move on to a different tag team if they do take those titles off of the Young Bucks? Also, Britt Baker, man, she's a beast. She's great. DMD is the shit. So let me know who do you guys possibly see right now that can hang with Britt Baker and take that to AEW Women's Championship from around her waist. That'll be interesting to know. Let me know, man. I'm going to go ahead and chill. This is Saturday, and I'm going to, enjoy my Sunday, enjoy my All Out, get some drinks flowing and everything. I suggest you all do the same. If you haven't already, make sure you're following us on @TheWrestlingReplay on Instagram. Like, subscribe, and turn your notifications so you make sure you get all our video alerts. Anytime we drop, your guys be the first one to see. Yeah. I'll see you guys after All Out if I still have a voice by the time that show is over, because there's a few matchups that I know I'm going to be going crazy over. I think Lucha Bros and Young Bucks is going to be match of the night. Like what they did the last time with a ladder match, oh my goodness. I can imagine what we're going to get off the top of this steel cage tonight. That's going to be really, really good. But that's your replay for the week, man. I'm Cato. I'm signing out. Peace.